Well, hello my beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. If you're returning and if you are new, welcome to you as well. This is Christine, so let's get crafting. Jumping into our first inspiration, this came from the Dollar Tree. Had this in my stash. Guys, a lot of these things that I'm using are from my stash. So I removed the tag just as you saw, and I'm taping down the hanger because I don't want to remove that. And I'm going to use some mixed paint. I already mixed these paints for a different project. I believe that one is the second DIY here. So and here is how I am painting this board. And don't be afraid to experiment with your paints. If you have one shade and it's not bright enough or it's too pale, of course you can mix it with others to get a shade or to get a blend that you want. And here I've mixed and painted, and I love how these colors blended in together. So now I took the gold marker and I'm just coloring in that space between each slide. And once I got that done, this Hello Fall came from a pack with different fall phrases from the Dollar Tree. I painted it with a coat of Waverly chalk paint in moss. These rub-on transfers, I selected some and just cut those out and rub them on. And look at your board after you have painted it as a template. You can do whatever you want with this. And to be honest, I had this piece for quite a while and I just could not figure out how I wanted to use it until I decided to mix the paint and use it for that purpose. So there I rubbed on the transfers, and the Hello Fall needed to be lifted a little bit, so I took this white paint pen from the Dollar Tree and I'm just highlighting the edge of the words. Now that's done. Before I glue that on, I took some antique wax on a sponge and just went around the board to distress it and to make it not look so flat. Next, I'm gonna glue on the Hello Fall, and I use Fix It All glue because I want that to remain on there and not pop off. And also just a little bit of the hot glue for instant hold. You don't want too much hot glue on here because it's gonna make it bumpy. Next, I took some lamb's ear. This is what I have left from this roll that I purchased from Walmart years ago. I've used this so many times. I took the two largest ones, cut those off, and they were a bit too curly, so I just used some heat to straighten them out. And I'm now gluing them on using a little hot glue. Next, I had this ribbon, this roll of ribbon. I got this from a friend, and this fall ribbon came from the Dollar Tree. So to make that pop a little bit, I just glued down the smaller ribbon on top of the burlap right in the middle, and then measure and cut off what I wanted, glue the ends together for the middle piece of my bow, and then for the tail cut another piece and just crunch that up in the middle, put both of them together and just tie that with a piece of jute. There are many ways you can make your bow. You may be a fancy or a very good bow maker, or you may not be so good at bow making. Just do whatever works best for you. A bow is a bow anyhow you make it, just as long as it looks good to you when you're done. So if you are new to my channel or coming over from the playlist, welcome. I'm so happy you joined me today. Here on my channel, I do DIYs on a budget, dupes, look for less, and some occasional Dollar Tree shopping hauls and thrift flips. If you love budget-friendly DIYs like these and you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing and be sure to hit that notification bell. Hit it again and select all so YouTube notifies you whenever I upload new videos. Now I have my bow all done. I am gluing it right in the middle on top of the leaves. And I believe this is cute. cute, cute, cute. I did dovetail the ends of the ribbon, and the top part was lifting a little bit, so I just tacked that down with some glue, and that is it. Love it. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section below. This is Everything Fall, hosted by Katie from Lady Red Crafting and Lisa from Our Grey House, and our guest host this month is Melissa from I Am Merely Melissa. Guys, these ladies are talented, all in their own way. I love them, love participating with them. I will leave links to their channels down in the description box below. Make sure you check them out when you're done watching my video, and also the playlist that will be filled with chock full of creative inspiration for you. Now let's jump into our next inspiration. I got this in a box of goodies from a friend a few years ago, and this is a jack-o'-lantern. No, I don't do Halloween, nothing Halloween, so I'm going to be reusing this board. So I scraped that off using the sanding block because it had some glitter on there, so I removed that, just sanded it down, and then sanding it down did not remove all of the glitter, so I went in with a little glue gun on a baby wipe and just removed that. Now I'm ready to cut. I'm going to be cutting off that pointed edge from the hat, so I used the pencil and just kind of drew in where I needed to cut, because this is going to be the top of the pumpkin, so I wanted it to look like a pumpkin and not like a jack-o'-lantern or a witch's hat. So I'm just scoring that with the X-Acto knife until it was all removed. Now I'm going to paint this with 2 coats maybe of acrylic white paint, and I'm using a piece of sponge to help me with that. And now that's done, dried and everything, I'm using masking tape to shape out my pumpkin, because I'm going to be separating that into 3 pumpkins. So I'm just using the tape to form the pumpkin. Now one is not going to be all the way round, and that's okay. So after I did that, those are the paints that I'm going to be using. The paints are Pueblo Cool Bisque, Linen Tulle, Acrylic White, and Jungle Green. And again, I am mixing my paint to give me different colors. I love the blend of these colors that I chose. So after I portioned out the paint, I took a small paintbrush and I'm going to be blending the paints together. I started with the green and the white. I'm going to be putting the green at the bottom, using that on the bottom pumpkin. And you want to have your brush going in this same direction. You don't want to do too much up and down, because that's going to lift the paint that is underneath, which is the white paint. So after I was satisfied with the shade, I removed the tape, and now I'm putting that part covering the green section, because I'm going to be painting the middle section. And because it had the base of white underneath, the green was on top of the white. When I removed the tape, it pulled up some of the green, but then I will have to fix that afterwards. So you want to make sure that you are taping right exactly on the line where the green section is. And now I'm going to be painting the middle using the coffee latte and the white that I mixed together. Now that is done, I also dried in between, and there the tape pulled up some of the green section. Now you can leave that if you like distressed painting look, that's fine, you can leave that as is. So there off camera I painted the top, did the same thing, just pulled the tape and replaced it at the top and did the same thing. Now I'm going to be painting the top of the pumpkin, or the peduncle if you prefer to go by that name. So I mixed those paint again with a little of the green and brown and painted that top part. Now I want a separating line between the 3 pumpkins. Took a little brown paint and a fine paintbrush and just went right at the bottom of the orange pumpkin and the top of the green pumpkin, and then just used my finger to spread that. Next, I took a dry chippy brush and the same antique wax, or no, not the antique wax, the brown paint that was left over, and just went right around the pumpkin to distress it. And then I just finished the wax on the brush by just going across the front of the pumpkin. I then took a black furniture marker and I'm drawing in some strokes on the peduncle. Well, not strokes, I drew lines on the peduncle just to give it a definition. I'm going to add this piece of napkin, so I took a small paintbrush and some water and just remove the excess. And now I'm adding some Mod Podge to the surface. And what I did not mention too, some green paint was remaining. I just used that to stroke the bottom half of the pumpkin to just give it some lines, and that's why it is looking like that. So here I'm applying the napkin. I place that on top of the Mod Podge area and use the brush to smooth that out, and then I went over that, placed the parchment paper on top, and then use the heat press to just press that down. Now if this is your first time seeing the Mod Podge or decoupage project, I have a lot of those on my channel. I'll link one at the top. Now that was my frustration. As you can see, some of the paint lifted again, so I took a little of the green paint and just went over that just to cover it a little bit. Now here I am adding some rub-on transfer to the top of the pumpkin. I didn't want to give this too much embellishment because I'm going to be adding a bow and I didn't want it to cover what was there. This Farm Fresh sign came from the pack from Dollar Tree. I painted that with some black paint. And here I'm just adding some fix-it-all glue as well as the hot glue to glue that down. And here is my bow. I had used this for a previous project a year ago or 2, and I found this perfect timing. So I took that out and just fluffed it up a little bit. Here I'm just applying some Mod Podge over the surface. I like to add Mod Podge before I do any further embellishment. I got this eucalyptus from Walmart. So I just cut off 2 little pieces, glue them in the middle right there. And here's a little hack for you. If your leaves are crumpled and all wrinkled, just blast it with a little heat and that will straighten them out. And then glue my bow on top of it. Now I wanted the bow to tie it, so I had tied a piece of jute cord around it and then just tied it at the back. Snipped off the end. Thank you so much for your support, guys. I truly appreciate it. If you would like to connect with me outside of YouTube, you can scan that QR code and that will take you to my linktre address, or you can check the description box below and there you will find all the links too. If you would like to help support my channel, you can do so by buying me a coffee. That link is also in my linktre address. Now I want this to hang. I just added a piece of jute cord, glued it down at the back, tack it down at the front so it doesn't swing around too much. And this is done, my friends. Let me know what you think about my topiary pumpkin. So here we are for the final reveal. Let me know which one of these 2 DIYs. I only had 2 for you today, but let me know which one of them was your favorite. They both are my favorite, but that's just me. Guys, don't forget to check out the host channels as well as the playlist down in my description box below. I will also link the playlist under the video for you. And if you love budget-friendly content like this and you have not yet subscribed, do so before you leave. And to watch more, I suggest this video right here. and even more binge watching, I suggest this playlist. And stay safe, my friends. Remember, Jesus loves you, and so do I. Bye.